before you get monetized, you should get yelled at. Like that's what it should be. Andrew, you need to set up the timer in the background.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yes,
shoot, I lost the
I got so excited that I was like, start the timer. We have something good instead of
we do.
instead of instead of working out like a plan. We all this
I mean, we
is
never work out a plan.
that's true. Or if we do, at the 8 minutes in, we realize we're never going to try to get to the point where we want to get to,
Right. Uh-huh.
uh, which is fine. Like that's the point of it. It's fine. This is a tiny little channel, and it's
Mhm.
barely a channel, but there is a consistency. I think of anything that we can be proud of for this, not Zodiac or hold
Yeah,
music or all that good stuff. It's specifically this is
exactly.
uh, there's a consistency to it. Unfortunately, the problem with that, what are you showing me a Godiva? We get
I'm
is
trying
that
to oh
are
there.
we getting
Trying
a
to get
sponsorship?
trying to get the timer set up here.
And we are really
We're
really
high tech here.
yeah, it works. We are really
All
waiting
right.
for Zodiac 3 to come out. This is what I call the penguin arc,
There we
where
go.
it's
Okay.
a bunch of penguins hanging out. You gotta okay. This is an exciting episode.
This is very exciting.
Yeah, this is really top tier content of what people want.
I know
Um,
we have high production value here. That's
yeah,
what we're
really,
doing.
it's this is it. No, but okay, so the thing we talked about, and then we're not
But
listen.
let's yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and
Are you
start
ready? Are
our
you
good
ready?
dive and dive.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
All right.
actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna find.
Oh
Hold on.
gosh. Oh my
No,
goodness.
we got to make a theme here. Hold on a second. Oh my God. All right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll cut some of this out. All right.
Are you? Because you're not. I know you're
Yeah,
not.
I'm probably
Or
not.
or you might
It's
cut just. I'm gonna cut some of this out, and then me yelling, "I know you're not. I know you're
yeah.
not. I know that's not true." You're like, I told you, Brandon. Told you, dude who talked to himself for 8 minutes, which really last week really proved how much that we need each other for these. Because me just talking to myself, that was something sad. Um,
All right.
but
I'm gonna start. All right. Hello, Brandon.
hi, Andrew.
So the reason we had a whole delay because I wanted to have a chocolate theme here, but you can't even really see it, so it
Why do you
doesn't
want?
matter.
Why is it? Is it because it's Easter?
No, I don't know. I just because I had a bag of
Oh,
Godiva
because we got a
on my
because
desk.
we are
Yeah.
yeah because we're sponsored by Godiva. We really made
Right.
it. Uh,
So that yeah, we really classed it up here with,
yeah,
with
really
some
classed up with Godiva. Uh, just, but okay. So the thing we were talking about before,
yeah,
we don't really we make these to talk to each other. Anyone who is here is welcome, but
yeah,
they are the secret audio commentary for a obscure music and art thing that we make. That's why they exist, and it's
yeah.
we love that people are here, and that's great. But it's
Well, it's like the stuff that we're doing is kind of weird and experimental, and then this is I feel like this is even weirder, in a lot of ways.
I don't know, like it is just like two white dudes talking about stuff. Like
Yeah.
that is a pretty well trod path.
Well,
Uh,
that's true. Yeah, there are a lot of podcasts with two white dudes
two
talking.
white dudes being like, "What's up with working out?" Yeah.
Right.
You gotta focus, but I think it's also a way for us to put our thoughts in order.
Yeah,
I think
that's really what it is. Yeah.
that's an important part of the process.
Hmm.
Uh, but every time it is you, no matter I know that some people claim they're like, I don't care if anyone sees these videos, and I don't, except for the fact that when the number goes up,
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I wonder what we did right there. We got to do that again. Like I can't. I'm enough of a capitalist where like number go up is good. Like it's in my brain. Like, it's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
It's and like it's not gonna not be in my brain. It is dishonest to pretend that I don't have that.
Mhm.
And as the number go up and we put it in front of everyone, one of the things that you've been dealing with another channel is like the fact that like you're gonna deal with negative comments towards what you make with no like you get nothing out of it though.
Mhm.
And that is kind of sucky. Like it's kind of sucky that like you have to deal with people who I'm just exiting out of stuff real quick so I can focus better on you. You
Yeah.
have to deal with people who like you never meet, and it's it's easy to say you should learn to take critique, and I do think it is important to learn to take critique. It's really, 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 really hard,
Mm.
even if the critique is mean and bad. This is going to be the one where it's going to be like they should learn to take critique in all the comments. Um,
Well,
but
we've got so well, yeah. So I think that like with uh, there's been a few random comments on these videos,
yeah,
and I'm not sure if there are people that you know. I,
no,
I I can't remember if there's people that I know that have commented. Like there, I remember one from a few weeks ago. It was like this is a video, and I mean that was like the only reason I remember it is because that's like one of the only comments we've ever had.
yeah.
And then I think you responded and said like this is true or something like that. So I wasn't sure if that was somebody you knew or if that was
No,
just
no
making
idea. No
conversation.
idea. I
Yeah,
think it was just someone either making a comment or trying to get attention because like we're
yeah.
in, we're in. I hate the term attention economy. I think it's like kind of
Mhm,
boring. Because it doesn't say that the complexity of what it is very loudly.
mhm,
Because like we are in an attention economy, but like what does that mean? What does that do? Like we're constantly staring at screens. We've after pandemic, which is what started this,
mhm.
it's gone up, not down. What did our brains are all weird now. And we're all staring. It's the what is it? The Panopticon, the prison system where there's one dude staring at a bunch of people, and it's
Mhm.
all those prisoners insane. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Uh, yeah, it's been a long time, but I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in. I put it in. Even though I have trouble saying the name, it shows up in some of Zodiac is about,
Mhm,
and Yonko is about that. And
mhm.
it's
Yeah.
it's the difference between a pentatacon. God, I get it wrong every time. It's just one of those words that just bounces off me. Like I'm
Mhm,
fascinated by the idea. It's a great sounding word. It's an
mhm.
excellent name for like a industrial metal band or
Yeah.
album. And then I try to say it and I'm like, "Bah, bah, bah, bah." The pentatacon. Oh, don't I feel smart? But like it's one of those things where like one person and you didn't know who was watching when
Mhm,
was watching everyone, and it just drove prisoners insane, right?
mhm,
And what's weird is like it's a the fact that it's an apt metaphor for where we're at,
mhm.
and that like we all kind of understand what it is, and b where we're at is like more complex than I think any anyone will comfortably admit.
Mhm.
Is like we at some point, and like we both worked in art for a long time, but it affected our brain, but I'm sure it's affecting a lot of folk brain more so. Even is like we all became performative at all times,
Mhm.
um, and that is hard. And like we're
Mhm.
we're always like self, not even censoring, but self watching at all
Yeah.
times is um, probably not great for where we're at. And I don't think we understand how hard it is on us right now. Like I don't think we ever will. And like the
Yeah.
fact that like before okay, so but I go, this is art into the world, and then a random people can go, I hate this. This is bad. And then
Yeah.
you have to go, just take it. Just take it. That's life, man.
Right.
You wanna you wanna put anything out into the world, uh, be prepared to get demolished.
Well,
And
yeah, and
like
I think it's not that, and this isn't really saying anything new, but it's like, you know, when if this interaction was happening in real life, then most people, not everybody, I can think of a few people who wouldn't censor themselves, but most people would censor themselves, and not say, everything that's, coming into their brain or whatever. But uh, with with a lot of stuff on the internet, then you just get this kind of verbal diarrhea, and people, whether it's intentional to get attention, or people just don't have a filter, then I mean, I'm sure it's a combination of both, with all of it. And I think so. Just to back up, kind of what started this conversation, like was I had mentioned with something else, and I don't know if I want to say specifics, on this
Yeah, you don't have to
podcast,
say it's okay. You
but
don't have to say.
like, but yeah,
This is
we
the
I
podcast where we don't say specifics. That's what we do.
exactly.
That's the brand.
But I had put out a video, like I was saying that like we, we're getting some numbers, and it's interesting to see them kind of go up and see that people are actually watching, or for whatever reason. And but there was a video, a TikTok that I did with somebody else that got a lot of views, and it got to the point where, okay, we started getting the kind of attention that attracted negative attention, and
Yeah.
there were a lot of negative comments, um and and I'm not going to say like it didn't sting, partly, because I mean, part of what I was doing with that video was sort of making a joke, but it also wasn't a joke, and it was one of those like, weird things. So I guess also maybe that was part of the confusion. Like some people were getting mad because they didn't get the joke, or getting offended, or whatever, So, and yeah, I'm not. I'm being so unspecific, so people might be getting the wrong idea of what it was, but
You're making
anyway.
fun
It
of a
doesn't.
band. Like it was a band. I think I can
Yeah,
comfortably say you were making fun of a band that you believe
yeah,
was a loving making fun of, and then other people
yes,
be like, "How dare you? How
yes.
dare
There. Okay.
the mighty band?" Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which is
That's a very good way to describe it. Yeah. So it was making fun, like in a sort of teasing way, but it's someone I really respect, a
yeah.
lot. Like it's a band I really respect, and but I just thought that it'd be funny to, sort of. And
Yeah.
anyway,
And that
anyway, you
band,
described it perfectly. Yeah. So
and that band, by the way, is fine. Like it's fine.
yeah.
They're fine. It is that
Mhm.
weird thing where like people have this like I must defend this band. Like no, you don't
Right.
really.
Exactly.
They're fine without you. Uh,
Yeah.
and it is in like that's a whole like parasocial relationships are this whole thing that we understand are happening and have no idea what they mean
Mm,
and or have no idea what they're doing to our brain. And there are both, and I'm not going to pretend like there aren't positive aspects to them, but there's some wild negative aspects to them. And it's a
mm,
lot that you have to you're trying to deal with them and like what is a parasocial relationship is it only with famous
mm,
people because can you have a parasocial relationship with an old friend that you halfway follow on Instagram
mm,
and wish happy birthday to every year and that's the beginning and end of your relationship. That's not the same, it's not the exact same thing as a parasocial relationship, but it is ticking a lot of those same boxes. Now I
mm,
understand words can only have one meaning at this point because people, if you give them, but they have to understand like that's a weird thing that we have parasocial relationships with the people in our lives,
mm,
uh, or who used to be in our lives who are now we're images on screens,
mm,
um, and images on screens that we don't really talk to. We only talk to the stuff they put out in the past, and we
mm,
react to the stuff they wrote at one point, and not the stuff that's happening to them in the moment. And that's
mm,
a complicated thing to unpack. Um, and another thing, I do want to bring this up. One of the things that I think screens do, this is a good way to start that Zodiac 3 is about to come out. Because Zodiac,
yeah.
Yonko is about screens and about how scary they are. Uh,
Mhm,
is one of the things about screens is working whereas working a uh mascot, doing mascot work. One of the
mm,
things I learned is how many people will forget there is a human being in the suit
mhm.
immediately. You will
Sure.
look at, I mean, people I know, and I won't name names, but all you have to do for someone to not understand that there's a person in there, full grown adults, is
Mm.
cover every part of your body, and there's something in their brain will go away,
Mm,
and they will treat they like the amount of like weirdness I've had, and like you just wouldn't treat another human being like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't do it. Now, would some people? Sure, but your average person wouldn't push another human being real hard. They wouldn't
Mm,
hug them real hard. Like, and the amount that I disappear in a suit,
yeah,
while being like
yeah.
I'm here, like I'm a person. And I always wonder, like, I'm sure some of them, if I were to talk to afterwards, they would go, "Oh, I'd stand by it." You know, that's it's bled into their brain. But a lot of people, if you become just a comment, you become
Mm,
just a dude you're disagreeing with.
yeah,
It's so easy to negate the person behind there,
sure.
and I think like, and it's so easy to do it to other people
Mhm.
and then have it felt done to you and had to go, this is an unusual experience, and go, no, this is an experience you've been doing to everybody.
Yeah.
Not you, of course, Andrew. You've treated every person identical. I'm only speaking to myself ever.
I hope so.
But
Um, no, and I think that's a really good analogy. That's because yeah, I mean, with the mascot, I mean, the person is disappearing, and uh, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with the computer. The person is really disappearing, I think. So.
yeah, and it's what it's been doing to us is kind of scary. And like,
Mhm.
it's one thing that there was an elite, we'll say, or a lucky, or people who got to choose to do that to themselves
Mhm.
because of their fame and fortune. And now everybody's sort of a C-list, D-list celebrity at all times.
Mhm.
Uh, and we're always, and some people are more private, but if you're trying to make art, you are getting the repercussions without really a lot of the um,
Yeah,
upside of it.
that's true. Yeah.
You get the if you the only upside you get is you get to go, oh, 1,000 people saw this thing I made, and
Right.
then you have to go, but a bunch of them were really angry at me, and that's you didn't you the algorithm got a little bit, and but
Yeah.
you got nothing. You know what I mean? Like what you got out of it is so little
Mm.
compared to what is pointed towards you. And unfortunately, it's a losing game. I don't know what else to tell you to play. If you want to do art, you sort of have to be out there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's true because I tell people all the time, like, I mean, I would really not be on social media if it wasn't for, the music and the art and stuff that that we do, and it's just one of those things, like, it's sort of a necessity. And but I think, and it's, I'm not sure, like, how realistic it is. It's almost sort of like in an alternate universe. If I was not a musician or, artist or whatever, like, would I be using social media in a different way? And would I be okay with that? Or, like, right now I say I'd be okay, like, just totally ditching it, but would I actually not be okay with that?
That's while being fully saturated, and part of the fully saturation is the statement to yourself that and also that
Yeah,
person doesn't exist. Uh,
exactly.
but like, yeah, it is like, man, I don't even need to be on social media. And then you meet someone who isn't on social media, and you're like, so what do you do? And you're like, I watch the news all day. And you're like, oh, I guess you're just kind of on social media. Uh,
Right.
yeah. So, like and subscribe.
That's right. Leave a comment below.
Leave a comment below, or don't. I mean, it's fine. Do whatever you
Yeah,
need to. Uh,
exactly.
but yeah, Zodiac 3 is coming pretty soon, kids.
That's right. Yeah. So next week we'll sort of start our Zodiac, our Zodiac talk cycle series.
Oh, I was gonna do a Zodiac talk back, but no, I like
Yeah.
Zodiac talk cycle series, and I like the name of that because it's as fancy as it can be.